How do you know when a habit has quietly crossed the line into addiction? It doesn't happen all at once. You don't wake up one morning and say, "Today I'm addicted." Instead, it sneaks in slowly. It feels harmless at first, even normal. Then one day, you realize it's not you making the choices anymore. The habit is making them for you. In part 3, we talked about how your brain actually changes when habits repeat, how it builds strong pathways that pull you back again and again. But science is only half the story. What really matters is knowing how to spot the signs in your own life. Because here's the truth: addiction doesn't always look like rock bottom. Most of the time, it hides in everyday routines. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 5 big signs. As you listen, think about you, your life, your habits. Because if you can spot the warning signs early, you can take back control before it's too late. Let's start with tolerance. You remember when 1 cup of coffee used to be enough? Just one, and you felt sharp and awake. Now it's 3 cups before you even feel human. Or maybe it's that after-work drink. At first, 1 glass helped you relax. Now, 1 glass does nothing, and you find yourself pouring a second, maybe a third. That's tolerance. It's when the same thing that once gave you a boost barely moves the needle anymore. Your brain adapts. It demands more to get the same result. It doesn't just happen with coffee or alcohol. Think about your phone. Maybe you used to check it once in the evening. Now it's every 10 minutes, sometimes without even realizing you're doing it. Tolerance builds quietly. You don't notice it happening. You just keep raising the dose until one day your routine is shaped around feeding the habit. So ask yourself this: what in my life takes more now than it used to? What's become louder while everything else has grown quieter? If you've got an answer, that's tolerance staring you in the face. The second sign is withdrawal. This is what happens when your brain has gotten so used to a habit, it throws a fit when the habit isn't there. Think about how you feel when you can't get your morning coffee. Head pounding, irritable, snapping at people who don't deserve it. That's not just a bad mood. That's withdrawal. Or picture your phone dying when you're stuck waiting somewhere. Do you sit calmly, enjoying the quiet? Or do you fidget, feel restless, check your pockets over and over? That uneasy feeling? That's withdrawal too. Even food can do this. Ever tried cutting out sugar all at once? The headaches, the low energy, the mood swings. That's your brain screaming for what it's used to. Withdrawal doesn't always look dramatic, like you see in movies. Sometimes it's small. Irritation, restlessness, the inability to focus. The question is simple: do I feel calm without my habit, or do I feel agitated, like something's missing? If peace disappears when the habit does, withdrawal has already set in. The third sign is loss of control. You tell yourself, just one more episode, then I'll sleep. But before you know it, it's 2 in the morning, and tomorrow you'll be dragging through work. Or you promise yourself, just 1 beer tonight. Hours later, the case is almost empty. Or maybe it's your phone. You say you'll check 1 notification, but suddenly, half an hour is gone. That's loss of control. And it's one of the clearest signs that a habit has gone too far. Because here's the truth: willpower isn't always enough. Your rational brain might say stop, but your rewired brain, the one craving the reward, overrides it. Here's what makes this one especially painful. The more you break those promises to yourself, the weaker you feel. You tell yourself tomorrow will be different. But tomorrow looks just like today, and every failure chips away at your confidence. So ask yourself, when was the last time I promised just one, and it wasn't? That's how you know whether you're in control or whether the habit is controlling you. The fourth sign is impact on life. This is when the habit stops being private and starts spilling into everything else. Maybe it looks like missing a deadline because you stayed up too late binge watching, or being too tired to spend time with your family because your nights are eaten up by scrolling. Maybe it's skipping workouts, losing sleep, eating worse. At first, you brush it off. It's just once. It's just a little. But over time, the habit starts pushing aside the things that matter most. Your work suffers. Your health slips. Your relationships feel distant. The tough part is, you don't always see it right away, but the people around you do. They notice when you're distracted at dinner. They feel it when you're present physically but gone mentally. So ask yourself, what in my life has started to pay the price for this habit? Time, work, family, my health? If the answer stings, that's impact you can't ignore. The fifth sign is secrecy and obsession. Addiction thrives in the shadows. When someone hides bottles in the garage, deletes search history, or sneaks in a fix late at night, that's secrecy. And when the habit isn't happening, the brain is still thinking about it, planning it, counting down the hours until the next time. That's obsession. This is the stage where the addiction moves from being something you do to being the center of your mental world. It's not just about enjoying it anymore. It's about needing it, chasing it, protecting it, and hiding it. Here's an example. A teenager tells their parents they're doing homework, but really, they're gaming with friends late into the night. Or an employee takes long bathroom breaks, not because they need them, but because that's their secret moment to vape. Another, a man addicted to gambling lies about where he's been, hides receipts, deletes bank alerts. His obsession isn't just in the casino, it's in his thoughts every hour of the day. And here's the cruel irony. Secrecy is often born from shame. The person knows they're losing control, but instead of asking for help, they hide it. And the hiding makes the cycle stronger. So here's the reflection. If you feel the need to hide your habit, is it really harmless? Or has it already crossed into something more dangerous? So let's recap. The signs of addiction are often hiding in plain sight. Tolerance, needing more and more to feel the same effect. Withdrawal, feeling restless, anxious, or unwell when it's gone. Loss of control, promising to stop but finding you can't. Life impact, family, work, and health all taking a back seat. Secrecy and obsession, the habit taking over both your actions and your mind. If you see these signs in yourself or someone you care about, it's not weakness. It's the brain, rewired by addiction, taking charge. The good news? Understanding these signs is the first step, because once you can see it clearly, you can begin to break free. So I'll leave you with this. Which of these 5 signs do you recognize most in your own life? And what would your world look like if you could take that power back? And that brings us to the next episode, why people fall into addiction in the first place. We'll go deep into the root causes, trauma, stress, environment, even genetics, and uncover why some people are more vulnerable than others. Make sure you subscribe so you don't miss part 5. And if this video helped you see addiction in a new way, share it with someone who needs it. Sometimes the first step toward change is simply awareness.